hard as a crouton, receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Check it. Lady.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Protect yourself, baby.
For the first play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Stafford throws complete to Galladay. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
A gain of 16 yards.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 35-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Dean Lowry drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Trevor Davis deep for Green Bay. This will be fielded at the 17. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin him back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On the carry, it's Borden. He's got a first down past the 30 and all the way up to the 33-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Throwing is Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Hey, 22! 50, Topper!
On second and 10, Stafford. Going for the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a second and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's second and 3. On the toss, here's Johnson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. B.J. Goodson there on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now it's Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Hey, Mike.
Inside.
Here I come.
To throw is Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers have taken the lead. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that.
Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like...
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Well-timed effort by Darius Slay, a sack on the corner blitz. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Now Jones. And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The quick slant caught. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Looking deep downfield. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 14-yard line.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Eluding the pressure right. It's caught outright by Graham. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Jump out!
Rodgers now on first down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back in pass rush. They've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together, the front and back.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Being chased out left, and a pressure gets to him again. Montravius Adams, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going. And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Stafford. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Stafford. He finds his man Johnson. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Again, it's Stafford. Open man, right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing again is Stafford. And his throw is incomplete.
But this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 44, Rodgers. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On 1st down, Rodgers. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Finding room to the 20. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Throwing is Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Graham. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford steps away to his left. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Escaping the pressure right. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not late.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Dean Lowry able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Powering his way forward. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down and 4, Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And now here is another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. On first down, it's Jones. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead will swell by 1 more. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stafford now to throw. Throw left side complete. It's James. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Davis now to return it. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On third down, here's Jones. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the second time. On the return, here's Agnew. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Middle.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Flush to his right. And he he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Packers,